All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Ready for the second half. 14-3 our score as we are back underway on EA Sports. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
And Mixon going to have a Bengals first down as he'll get this up past the 40.
Here we go. 11.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. There goes a deep ball, end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Burrow's thrown into the hands of Sample. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
On 3rd down, Burrow. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the 3rd quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. 46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. On the return, it's King. And just a net of 31 here, 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Here's Nico Collins, and this offense getting set to go for another drive. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this?
And now off to the races, down the right side. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 80 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
I love football lingo and the evolution of it all. Nickel defense makes sense, right? 5 defensive backs. But then you go to 6. What are you going to call that? And they call it a dime.
Double it.
A dime, which is just very simple for them. The math doesn't add up. But I know one thing. Offenses love to run against dime defenses. Typically, the bigger guys have an advantage against the smaller defensive backs when they're blocking downfield.
And we saw that advantage right there. 1st and 10, it's Stroud. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Hold the ready.
30-yard line.
A give up the middle to Singletary. And he'll go down at the 28. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Now to change things up, Stroud will throw it. And his throw here is incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
2nd and 10. Thanks for tagging along with us here from Houston, Texas. Singletary here running out of the gun. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Singletary. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
The kick by Fairbairn is good, and they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So the lead extended, and I think at this point you say, hey, defense, take us to the end.
Well, if I got some good music to put to that, I could have a good country hit. I like the way you expressed yourself there. I think the offense has done enough so far, but like you say, if your defense is only giving up 3 points, makes it a lot easier to settle for field goals on this side of the ball.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Denzel Perryman there to bring him down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized. Well, throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. That's taken on the 25. A 41-yard punt, 9 on the return, and the Texans will take over. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
From the 43, here's 2nd and a yard. Singletary again. And he's got room. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 126 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
The 2nd down throw now from Stroud. This will be caught by Brown. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
And we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Ready.
And Stroud now to throw. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Sam Hubbard making his presence felt in the backfield. But found his way into the backfield, and he simply would not be denied.
Well, they say that life's all about opportunities, and that holds true when you're playing defense as well. How about him seeing that chance, making the most of it, did a great job of wrapping him up and bringing him down.
Touchdown! Dalton Schultz, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. Another touchdown through the air for them, and for this rookie quarterback at the helm, he has put them in a great position, Charles, to get the victory in this one.
He's absolutely taken charge. Every touchdown for them has come via his arm. 0 rushing touchdowns, no special teams, no defensive scores. All him throwing the football. He's in cruise control right now, and so is his team.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
And his throw is going to be incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they've forced in this runaway contest.
We're going to get this into the hands of Mixon as running back. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Burrow looking to pass. And that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal.
12.
Here's Burrow. Dancing to his left. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. And quickly, they get to the line. 3rd and goal, Burrow. And that'll be caught. Touchdown, Bengals. It's Tyler Boyd. 2 yards on the touchdown there. And the Bengals are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. The 4th quarter touchdown there, back to a 2-score game, but time is not their ally.
No, it's not, partner. They still have a pulse, but it's probably a little weak right now. A lot of things have to go right in these final 2 minutes plus for them. I think they have to be thinking onside kick here, and we know how difficult those are to recover.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good, and that cuts the lead to 24-10. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. On first down, they stick with Singletary. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Now the Bengals going to signal for their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Pierce is not going to get a whole lot, maybe a yard down to the 3. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
Were you as surprised as I was that they actually ran it on second down there? I thought that they would go ahead and throw it in every situation here.
They've thrown for 3 touchdown passes. Now here, I think they probably go back to the air.
Yeah, I think so, but ordinarily, second down is when you run your play fake, your play action, show run, and throw the ball. Now they brought up 3rd down, they'll have to throw it anyway.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. And I guess not content to get another 3 here late. They'll try to add 6 more as they go on 4th and goal. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. He had 3 touchdowns already, but won't get a 4th here. And the Bengals are going to get the football back. A breakdown by the O-line at the worst possible time. 4th and goal, and it leads to a sack.
And I can just see it now. On the sidelines, they're telling the quarterback, you've got to get rid of it somehow, some way. At least get it in the end zone and give us a chance. If we throw an interception, so what? A sack? We didn't even have a chance. Well, they've certainly had trouble unlocking this defense through 3.5 quarters, so I don't expect it to get any easier now. You know they're going to be sitting back and waiting on everything, and they force an incompletion there.
And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. To throw, Burrow. That's complete to Chase. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Here's 1st down. Burrow. And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. Jonathan Grenard. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming